everybody.
Hi, friends. Well, from beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up on the show today, we're going to be talking about a quote-unquote famous atheist who's no longer atheist.
She got famous for a minute.
Yeah.
We talked about her on the show.
We did. It was a long time ago, but we did.
And then she kind of disappeared. And there's new stuff about
no.
The scandal. Yeah, it's good though. It's juicy, and we're gonna be talking about, like, you know, when people leave our team.
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean for us?
Oh,
I'm questioning my own doubts.
Yeah,
I'm doubting my doubts, Dan.
Doubt your doubts. It's what we were told to do. The Mormon prophet wants you to doubt your doubts.
And now I am. Oh, no.
But first,
there's some news from the week.
Yes.
Things that happened that we need to talk about, Dan.
Sure.
The first up, I want to take us down to Rio de Janeiro.
Ooh,
Dan.
fabulous Rio.
Ooh, where there's that famous big statue of Jesus, right? The Cristo Redentor that looms over the city. I suppose I've never been, but pictures make it look like it's looming.
Yeah, arms outstretched.
Yeah, it's quite the striking image, I will say. I hand it to them. I think it's a lovely piece of public art, I guess.
And significantly better than the one that we saw in Arkansas, the Christ of the Ozarks.
Totally.
Which is a disappointing and squat-necked Jesus.
Indeed. Well, down there in Rio, they are anxiously waiting for Taylor Swift to come and perform. Dan. She's on a big tour. She's in South America, obviously.
Let me tell you something. Those Brazilians are Swifties to a person. Every one of them.
Well, one of the Brazilian Swifties, Anthony Roberto Justice, he's created the fan account at Taylor Swift Brazilians.
Did not see what was coming with that one. An actual Brazilian may not know that there might be another meaning.
Yeah, but whatever. He has gathered 60,000 followers on Instagram.
Sure.
And he likes to boast that he is the first fan account from Brazil to get a like from Taylor. Okay.
Ooh.
And so he has this idea, and he messaged the mayor of Rio, Eduardo Paes, about the possibility of projecting onto the Cristo Redentor a Taylor Swift t-shirt.
I love everything about this.
So it'll look like the Cristo Redentor statue thing is wearing the same t-shirt that Taylor Swift has been wearing or that she wore in the You Belong With Me music video.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something. If Jesus isn't a Swiftie, I don't know who is.
Well, okay, Dan. So the mayor is like, yes, we must do this. Okay. So then he publicly messages on X, formerly Twitter, to somebody by the name of Father Omar, who I guess is the one that's in charge of the statue.
He's the statue's projectionist.
Yeah. He says, dear Taylor Swift fans, I'm going to ask dear Father Omar to see if we can get this honor. He is the guy who runs the projections at Cristo Redentor.
He is a projectionist.
In the meantime, his Instagram is at Padre Omar Oficial. Well, Padre Omar, he has responded. And he says, at Taylor Swift fans, we received your comments with great joy and await to contact the singer's people.
No. I didn't. I kept waiting for the shoe to drop, and you still haven't dropped it.
There's no shoe. They have such Taylor Swift fever. The whole city is just waiting with such great anticipation.
Oh my God.
That they are going to honor Taylor Swift with having her t-shirt projected onto Jesus Christ.
Okay, listeners at home, all of you, the second a photograph comes out of this, you are to post it on our Facebook. You are to tweet it at us. You are to email it to us. I cannot miss this. And I have ADHD, so I'm not going to remember. So that is astounding. I love it.
The best thing, because I did the same thing you did, Dan, where I saw the article and I'm like, oh, you're asking to get this done? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Nope.
Padre Omar is going to put the hammer down on that. No. Oh, no. He's into it. Oh.
Yeah. And they project things onto the statue. This is not a new thing, right?
Yeah, it's clear that if they have a projectionist.
Yeah.
Then, yes,
it's an established thing, but it's always things that are of great. It is often used to highlight significant elements of culture. This is Justice, the fan saying this. He says it is not a place for advertising. Christ represents a point of reflection where we find peace and is one of the greatest beauties of our country. It's an honor to host Taylor.
I can't. I love it. So I might buy tickets to Brazil.
Just so you can see
just to see
not
it with
to go
my
to the
own
concert
eyes.
because you won't be able to get tickets to the concert even if you wanted to go.
No, Taylor's got to be a fan of the show, right? Yeah. She's gonna get us tickets. Taylor, get us down there. I got to see it.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Oh Lord, that is amazing. That is my favorite thing. I'm so happy about that. You have made me very happy. It's not on brand for the show. I'm just gonna say. So I'm going to take us down a few pegs.
Okay. Okay.
This could be considered good news. Ish. I'm taking us to London now, where the Church of England has had a meeting of the General Synod. And, this is the highest people in the church. These are the mucky mucks. You got your bishop, Archbishop of Canterbury. You got your Bishop of London. You got everybody who's anybody is there.
Oh, totally.
And they were there to talk about what to do about the gays. As our
we are a problem for them. We're a problem.
Right.
What are they going to do about us?
Right.
We keep wanting equality. It's really kind of a crazy thing.
It's kind of a thorn in their side. I wish you guys would just shut up. So here's the thing. Longtime listeners will know that most of the English bishops and clergy in the Church of England are pretty liberal about the LGBTQ community. Many of them very much support full enfranchisement, just total and unadulterated. Everybody's in, everybody counts. And many churches in the Anglican Communion are already there, but many are not, and they're furious and they hate it and meh. So they had this synod, and holy shit, you guys, Frank, I don't know if you're prepared for this.
Okay,
they have agreed to test out a pilot program of prayers toward gay people. Are you okay? Can you believe it? Are you sitting down? Because, oh my God, they're going to say things. It's so dumb. I can't even believe it's literally. And
also,
people
can you
are
call
furious.
that a pilot program? Because when you said pilot program, I was like, did they pick a town somewhere in England where they're going to allow gays to get married? Right.
Well,
we're going to do a pilot program. We're going to see how it goes. Right.
Here's the thing.
Prayer?
What they're saying, what the opponents of this are saying, for instance, when Stephen Croft, the Bishop of Oxford, he says that this, because they are testing the idea of standalone services. And he says that this is basically tantamount to doing weddings for gay couples in all but name.
What?
And you can't take it back. Once you've done it, it's been done, and then you can't take it back.
Once you've prayed for a gay person? Wait. Is there what am I missing here? They're just they're praying at us?
Well, they're praying about gay people. They're establishing a collection of prayers.
Yeah, but like my parents pray about me, but that ain't nice, right?
No,
like,
right.
What do you?
Yeah, I think these are supportive prayers. I think that these are nice prayers, not like please bless these perverts that they will stop being gross. I think that it's much nicer than that. But it seems like such a tiny step, such a baby step, and yet the way that they are talking about this, it is like it is tearing them apart. It is like literally. Let me find the quote. There's a quote from one of the bishops, one of the big upper bishops. You know how they have upper and lower bishops.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's so bad that the Archbishop of York, who's like the second in command after Canterbury, this is Stephen Cottrell. He basically said that the disagreements on this, quote, appeared to be stretching us to the breaking point.
Oh no.
But he also said, and this is nice, that there should be no place for homophobia in our church.
Well, that's
at least he's on the right side of it. But
yeah.
Like, if you guys can't agree that it's okay to just pray for gay people, good Lord, people. This is the liberal section of Christianity. My God.
Yeah. You wonder why there aren't that many liberal Christians anymore.
Right?
If they can't figure it out, right?
If
the
these are easy questions.
Yeah, the Church of England can't figure this out. They can't even pray about gay people. Like, no wonder liberals want nothing to do with religion, like that kind of religion anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And religion in general, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Dan. We've talked about this guy now a couple weeks running. Our new Speaker of the House here in the United States, in the U.S. In the Congress, right? Mike Johnson,
Herr Johnson.
The thing that has our attention about this man is that he is a Christian nationalist. And he has, a porn addiction problem that he had to involve his 17-year-old son to help him out with. Yeah, this guy. He's some kind of like real great expert on our government, I guess. Did you know that he was an attorney for what's that group called? The Alliance Defending Freedom.
Yes, I did know that.
And
that's a hate group for those of you who.
Yeah,
conservative hate group for anyone who doesn't know.
When he was there as the senior lawyer, it was still called the Alliance Defense Fund. So if that rings a bell too. So this guy, right? Shocking everybody, has some weird takes on American government. And he is on record as saying the separation of church and state is a misnomer. He said in an interview on, what was the TV station? CNBC. And he says, people misunderstand it. Of course, it comes from a phrase that was in a letter that Jefferson wrote. It's not in the Constitution, right?
Yes, the phrase is not in the Constitution. That's right.
Right. But the concept most certainly is. Yeah. I also love, though, that he's like, it's in some letter that Thomas Jefferson wrote, right? These are the same people that if they find some fake quote, right, about the Constitution being inspired by God. We talked about one of those last week, if I remember right. Yeah. They're all in, right?
No, they will be spreading that as far as they can. They won't stop to, like, the fact that it has, that it says current modern slang or whatever. They won't even stop to ask any questions. They'll just spit it out there.
Yeah. And so, yeah, he, the letter that he's referring to, it's a famous letter from Thomas Jefferson to the Danbury Baptist Association of Connecticut. He wrote it when he was president of the United States. And it, makes clear that the founding fathers were definitely thinking about separation of church and state when, the Constitution was being drafted. And he says that
in that term, he used in that letter, he used the term wall of separation.
He says Congress should, quote, make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. And then it says, that he uses that phrase of a wall of separation. Yeah. And, but no. That's Mike Johnson. He knows better. It's a misnomer. And he's promoting this interpretation, right? That, let me see if I can find his stance. And you hear this a lot from the right now, that what the founders really wanted to do was to stop government interfering with religion.
Right.
Right.
But not the other way around.
Not the other way around. Religion can interfere with government all at once, but like government should not interfere. Yeah, that's what the founders were concerned about, I'm sure. Yeah. Right.
Both things are important.
Yes, both things are absolutely important. But they want to just lean on the one side of it. And it's funny. I think we're fine with it being both ways, right? Like, it's not like we're just arguing the other side of it. Like, they're just leaning in on this one little part of it. And I know last week I was like, who fucking cares what a founding father says? But, well, I did say that. But Thomas Jefferson, people, this isn't some Patrick Henry level founding father. This is Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas motherfucking Jefferson, guys. Come on. All right. Good Lord. Yeah, and that is a sentiment that I am hearing from the right quite a bit right now. It started just with like preachers. Yeah. Like, who's that Jeffress guy in Texas?
Oh, yeah.
He would say that. I think Mike Lee may have said something like that.
Of course, Mike Lee said something like that. Mike Lee, if it's, of course he did. Yeah. But yeah, this is what I think we're going to be paying a lot of attention to Mike Johnson over the next weeks and months and hopefully not years. Yeah, he's a scary figure to have in that position, that level of our government.
I think we should storm the Capitol and invade his office.
No, I don't think so, Dan. Oh, that's not how we when they go low, we go high, Dan.
So we should drop in from helicopters? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's
okay.
It. Yeah,
that sounds good. I'm going to take us to Wisconsin now, where
I love Wisconsin.
The Wisconsin state legislature has really found a way to right a horrible wrong going forward. So that's great. The state Senate on Tuesday passed an amendment to the state constitution. So
Okay.
if it goes forward, it will add one sentence to the Constitution that will keep things safe. Now this may not. I don't know if it'll pass. Their governor is a Democrat,
right?
And these are all GOP people. But here's what they propose. This is in an article of the Constitution that is about religious freedom, since we were talking about that. The article and the sentence that they want to add onto this thing that says things like the right of every person to worship Almighty God according to the dictates of their conscience shall never be infringed, nor shall any person be compelled to attend, erect, or support any place of worship, blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff.
Okay.
They found something that was just glaringly missing, and they've closed it up. Okay. And that is the following sentence: nor shall the state or a political subdivision of the state order the closure of or forbid gatherings in places of worship in response to a state emergency at the national, state, or local level, including an emergency related to public health.
God, these people suck.
It just reads, it's statesmanlike, isn't it? It's just, they should be so proud, because it has that air of gravitas to it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not serious people.
They're
just not. They don't care about any.
Okay, when the next pandemic comes along, and sorry everybody, it is coming. I mean, I don't know. Like I haven't heard that it's coming, but there's another one coming sooner or later.
Wuhan, the lab in Wuhan is working on it as we speak.
Turns out that it's not as mild as this one, right?
Right.
And it turns out to be more along the lines of what epidemiologists and whatnot had been and public health experts had been anticipating, right? When it's actually something like the movie. What was the movie? Contagion, right? Where Gwyneth,
there were a couple of those.
Yeah,
back in the 80s and 90s or whatever.
Like when it's that, keep your churches open, right?
Yeah. Like I just think if you keep your churches open during that, just mark everybody that's been there, because I will want to know and be able to avoid those people especially. Yes, indeed. Well, good for them. They're just staking out important rights, enshrining them in the in their state constitution. That's wonderful. Yeah. And ironically, that sentence comes literally after a whole clause about how no preference shall be given to by any law to any religious establishments. Yeah. Yeah. That's great. That's great. Yeah. Honestly, when you said Wisconsin and constitutional amendment, I thought they were going to be lowering the drinking age to 12 or something. But that would be better. That would be way better. I would be totally much more okay with that. Not all the way okay with it, but way better. Because those people drink up there. But anyway. Yeah, that's true. All right, Dan. I've got a story about that concerns one Mr. Pope Francis. I've heard of him. Yeah, or actually, I think he's famous. We might want to start calling him Don Francis or something. After Don Francisco. One. Yeah, after this one. And I do like also that the article, they found the grumpiest picture of Francis they could find to go along with this one. Because he's kind of smiley. He's normally such a happy guy, right? Yeah. But no, he is using his powers as the as the head of the Catholic Church, and he has fired a Texan bishop after the guy wouldn't shut up about Francis's quote unquote reforms of the church.
I mean, so this is guy's name is Joseph Strickland, Bishop Joseph Strickland of Tyler, Texas. And he's sort of a leading voice, I guess you could say, in a certain brand of American Catholicism.
Shittiness.
That's really, really conservative. I mean, they have groups like the Coalition for Canceled Priests.
Oh my God.
You know,
that is brilliant. The Coalition for Whiny Whines, for Saddy Sad Sads.
Yeah, exactly. So this removal comes in the wake of the Pope speaking about the quote unquote backwardness of some U.S. Catholic Church leaders. And this is all about, like, they're all pissed off because Francis has been trying. He's I mean, I guess they actually did, like we talked about this last week. They came out with kind of an amazing announcement about trans people being able to, like, participate in the Catholic Church, sort of officially, like in ways like in the sacraments of the church, which sort of completely blew my mind. And so I'm sure that's like a big one for these folks, but also, like, they're like upset about the Pope's stance on abortion, which you're going to have to fill me in on that one. Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that he's done shocking things, controversial things, like allowing women who have had abortions to come back and, like, have communion and stuff.
Oh my. Yeah. Yeah. Like, really changing the church's position on the issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than it being what it is, which is he, like, you know.
Yeah, he still hates it, but he doesn't want to pin a scarlet letter on anybody.
Yeah, exactly. And apparently also they're upset because they think he's going to make moves on same-sex marriage and whatnot.
Right. Which he's not.
No.
He has pushed out on all the things.
Yeah.
He mumbles about them, and then everybody gets scared for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so back in July, this Strickland fellow said that many basic truths of Catholic teaching were being challenged, including what he called attempts to undermine marriage as instituted by God, obviously. He criticized as disordered, quote unquote, disordered, the attempts of those who reject their undeniable biological God-given identity. He suggested that attempts to change, quote, that which cannot be changed would lead to an irrevocable schism in the church. And those seeking change, he warned, are the true schismatics. Right. So this bishop is like, no, the Pope is the problem. Right.
The Pope is schisming, not me.
Right.
I'm just stuck in the same bullshit.
Right.
Thing I've always been in. It's the Pope that's being a dickhead.
And so, like, you know, God's representative on earth has gone astray, right, in this guy's mind.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Pope, he's tired of it. He fired him. He's done. This guy's gone.
Well, there you go. I saw this story too.
Oh yeah.
He's and to be clear, he has not been defrocked.
No,
he is just a shepherd without sheep now. He doesn't have a diocese anymore. So actually, I saw a different story where he showed there is a conference of American bishops right now happening somewhere, and he showed up but didn't go in.
Oh,
he stayed outside, which is an especially sad thing.
Yeah.
I actually looked at Tyler, Texas. I was curious about this place. It's sort of halfway between Dallas and Shreveport, Louisiana, in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I went to the Google Maps and I went and looked around Tyler, Texas a bit. It's a shitty place.
Aww.
It's not surprising that this dirtbag would be from here. I wanted to see one of the Catholic churches in Tyler just to see what he was ruling over, what he was fighting for his chance to continue to keep ruling over. And I got to say, if you have a Catholic church, when you start thinking about how the Catholic Church as an institution has bilked poverty-stricken Catholics for centuries and centuries and just had wealth for forever. I think you need to be careful and probably not put your church on Easy Street. Literally, that is the address of one of the Catholics. It's on Easy Street.
Oh my God.
Oh, Catholics. Well, I'm going to close this out with a story, two stories actually, that are related, both about atheists who were imprisoned here in these United States. I'm going to start with a guy named Mark Janney, who has served his time, but was released to parole. And when he was paroled, his parole officer said, well, you're going to have to stay at this Denver rescue mission, which is a Christian homeless shelter. And one of the things about this rescue mission is that to stay there, they require you, because of course they do, because they're dickheads, to participate in services and to go to Bible studies and all of that fun shit and faith-based counseling.
Oh, God.
And of course, this is an atheist. He had no desire to do any of that, nor should it have been required of him.
Right.
This is literally the state requiring him to do all of this stuff.
That's wild.
So he eventually, and so he basically wouldn't do those things. And and he had suggested other things. He was like, I can go and stay with my friend's family. I don't have to do this.
Yeah. And
they wouldn't let him. His parole officer wouldn't let him. So he went to this shelter and wouldn't participate and was kicked out of the shelter. And then because he was kicked out of the shelter and didn't have, there's something about you have to have an address, something. He was deemed in violation of his parole.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And sent back to jail for 5 more months.
That's awful.
Yeah. Anyway, he sued about it, but represented himself because he couldn't afford representation, and that didn't go very well.
Yeah.
But the court dismissed his case. But the ACLU and the Americans United for Separation of Church and State took up the mantle in 2020 and sued. And the dismissal, now there hasn't been a trial yet, but the dismissal was overturned by the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals. So that is great.
Huh.
And they were really their decision was strongly worded. They said that everybody has, quote, the basic right to be free from state-sponsored religious coercion.
Yeah.
So, that's what that was. So that's one story.
Yeah, that's really okay. Well,
and so that's going to be ongoing. There's no resolution to that yet. But at very least, when you deprive someone of their freedom based on them not wanting to be indoctrinated into your fairy tale, hopefully, and also he's been cleared to sue for damages for monetary damages.
Yeah, okay. He
so that is an important thing. Then I take us to West Virginia, where something different but similar happened. In this case, it is a guy named Andrew Miller, who was also in prison for burglary, I believe, and was forced while he was in prison in the West Virginia Division of Corrections and Rehabilitation. He was forced to be part of a rehab program called the Residential Substance Abuse Treatment, which is RSAT. Probably because they didn't want, they originally probably had it say something about a rat, but then they decided, we won't be that overt. Anyway, this is it's a substance abuse program, but of course it has just Jesus is scattered throughout the whole thing, left and right. There's a handbook that's just full of it's got the Lord's Prayer and the 12 steps with higher power thing and blah blah blah, and they were required to do homework and the stuff where they were asked questions like what God means to me or what prayer means to me. And blah blah blah.
Nothing. Was that his
nothing?
Answer?
Fuck all.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Obviously this guy didn't want to be preached at, so he kept he fought it. He came up with other potential things that he could do. He's offered to do the program minus every part of the program except the Jesus parts, and they refused categorically. And here's the thing: failing this program is reported to the parole board. So literally, failing this program is grounds for denial of your parole.
Oh my God!
Which happened,
of course,
3 separate times. So, American Atheists.
Yeah, where do these people get off? Because this isn't I guess this is obviously a Christian's wet dream, right?
Yeah,
right. Somebody who's seeking to, but this is not conversion, right?
No, it's coercion.
Yeah, and but they're fine with that. They're okay.
Oh yeah,
they're great. So, they would love to just force everybody to be Christian. And here's if anybody ever says that they're not for, right, that there are not Christians out there who would force people to be Christian. Here's the example.
Yeah. There's plenty of examples.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is literally, they have a captive audience. They have someone that they can just force to do what they want.
Yeah.
Except that he didn't.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't participate after trying lots of different things, trying to get them to do it, after appealing decisions, et cetera, et cetera. He finally was forced to just say, no, I'm not going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then not get parole for it. So American Atheists and Jeff Blackwell, their lead attorney, stepped up to the plate.
Nice.
And filed lawsuits on Miller's behalf. And congratulate. Here's the thing: there was some arrangement reached, which was not made public. Some settlement was reached, but what we do know is that the Department of Corrections, the Correction Division, whatever it is, had to pay a sum, $80,000 in legal fees to Mountain State Justice, and American Atheists. And we know that Miller is free as of now, so he's out. Okay. That's good. And other than that, whether Miller himself was compensated is not specified.
Okay.
But a judge did rule in their case that this is U.S. District Judge Joseph Goodwin, who issued an injunction against the West Virginia Department of Corrections, Division of Corrections, or whatever. Told them they had to remove that program from Miller's individual program and make sure that they never put anyone in this position again.
Wow. So
they are required to do that. And the judge was livid. The judge was like, Miller, he said that if the case were to proceed through the courts, Miller would probably win, and if action wasn't taken immediately, he was likely to suffer irreparable harm.
Wow.
Which I suggest he already has.
Yeah.
I suggest that you've already harmed him irreparably, or maybe it's reparable, but
you shouldn't have to be reparable.
Yeah,
shouldn't have to be repaired.
Yeah. So it was a forceful ruling.
Wow.
Which included things like The evidence before the court wholly supports Mr. Miller's allegations that the defendants have substantially burdened his protected religious exercise. The judge ruled that the plaintiff is likely to succeed on the merits of his state claim. That was a claim against the West Virginia state constitution and against his claims on the U.S. Constitution of free exercise, the free exercise clause of the U.S. Constitution. So, yeah, that was that. So now, not only does Miller get to be a free man and not have to put up with their bullshit, but hopefully it will save a whole bunch of other people from having to deal with it too.
All right.
So that's good. I'm pleased with that. I think that those are both things moving in the right direction, even though a lot of the country is moving in the wrong direction. There are some good things happening in the world. So that's hooray.
Awesome.
Even if our Speaker of the House doesn't agree with this sort of thing. Well, if you would like to write into us, call into us, you can do so. Contact at thankgodimatheist.com is the email address.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. We'd love to hear from you. The telephone number is 424-666-8442. Stick around. There's more show coming up.
Frank,
Dan,
your home state, one of your home states of Oklahoma, has elected a man to Senate, to the U.S. Senate, not the state Senate.
Okay.
This is Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, and I want you to picture him as he says what he's about to say. He is in cowboy jeans and a button-up shirt and a 10-gallon hat.
Whatever.
He's just folksy as all get out. He just walked off the set of Yellowstone. And I'm going to play a couple clips from him.
Okay.
So I want you to hear the first one. This is from about a month ago.
When I speak, I also speak about my heart too. Something I've had to change. About loving the people and love the call. Many of you guys have heard me say that. And a lot of times I talk about that because I choose my attitude. There's a lot of times we can get angry about politics. We can get mad at someone. I heard someone back here a while ago when I was talking saying baloney. Because we get passionate about it. But the Lord still calls us to love. And so even if you disagree with me, I still love you. I still respect you.
So, you know, that's nice.
But that's nice, Dan.
That feels Christ-like, I suppose. Jesus-y, I guess.
Okay.
A little disheartening to hear a senator invoking Jesus like that, but he wasn't on the Senate floor. He was just in a town hall meeting or whatever. So,
that wasn't church?
No.
Oh.
No, but
I thought it was church.
Yeah. But the next clip I'm going to play is the same guy this last week on the Senate floor.
Oh, okay.
Showing us how he practices that Christ-like love and respect, even when he disagrees with someone. This was at a hearing, and there was a witness there from the Teamsters Union, and we'll just hear their interaction.
Okay.
The last time, him and I kind of had a back and forth. Appreciate your demeanor today. It's quite different. But after you left here, you got pretty excited about the keyboard. In fact, you tweeted at me 5 times. And let me read what the last one said. It said, greedy CEO who pretends like he's self-made. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be 2 consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution every
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
So, they were going to go to blows?
That was literally a United States fucking senator challenging a witness at a hearing to fight him.
He's a fool. He's a fool. Fight a Teamster? That guy would. I don't even need to see these two.
Well, I will say this: Senator Mark Wayne Mullen was apparently an MMA fighter.
Oh, shut up! Oh,
so
okay. Still,
you're
Teamsters.
Oklahoma knows how to pick them, y'all.
I'm just gonna say Teamsters. Teamsters are serious. That union is serious.
Yeah,
you do not fuck with the Teamsters. That's ridiculous.
Good grief! You got to love it when Bernie Sanders has to like stop the fight. You're a United States Senator. What are you doing? Good Lord. So that's that. You know, when you love your opponents, that's a great way to show it.
All right.
Well, we had some folks communicate with us.
We did.
Commune? I don't know. Maybe they communed with us. I'm going to start with Eric, who said, "Hi, Frank and Dan. Of the several people and podcasts who have mentioned the weird Mike Johnson Covenant Eyes story," that's the story of him and his 17-year-old son monitoring each other's porn usage. Or maybe they're using it to share porn with each other. We don't know. There's one angle that I didn't really hear addressed. I think that it belies the fact that deep down, these people don't really believe there's an omniscient, omnipotent God. Think of it this way. If you believed there was an all-seeing God capable of observing your every action and peering into your deepest thoughts and desires, and that God was holding the very fate of your eternal soul as collateral, why on earth would you need another dumb mortal to be your accountability partner? I guess I understand that sentiment. That makes sense to me. Although I have to say, when I was a teenager and I believed with all of my heart in the church, in the truth of the Mormon church, and I believed with all of my heart that masturbation was bad and evil and could put me in jeopardy of eternal torment. That didn't stop me. There are primal works at play, and I'm afraid our little frontal cortexes are no match for the deep evolutionary mandates of sex.
Yeah. What if you and your dad had like shared
Gross.
Covenant
Stop it.
Eyes accounts?
Nope. How dare you? More because I don't want to know about him. I don't. It's not even him knowing about me. It would have been I don't want to know anything. Nope, we're not. Never. I quit the family. I'm sorry.
Oh golly!
Yikes!
Well,
we have a voicemail, do we not?
Yeah. Also about Covenant Eyes. So let's have a listen.
All right.
Hey guys, I just listened to your conversation about Mike Johnson and Covenant Eyes and that whole very, very, very strange, very unhealthy mess. There was a comment about, and I believe this because I feel like I've read this before, about how religious people tend to be the ones with porn problems. And I heard years ago that Utah was the largest consumer of pornography in the country. But I wonder if it's not that religious people are more likely to have a problem with porn so much as they are more likely to perceive porn consumption as problematic. So maybe they have the same habits as anybody else, but they see it as a problem, and that's where the shame comes in, and the guilt, and the feelings of unworthiness and dirtiness. I wonder if it's not just you don't have a problem, you just think this is bad, and that's hurting you. Anyways, my 2 cents. Later.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the heart of the thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that they think that it's bad. But I will say this, no, it's actually people who feel compulsions toward porn use. Like they can't not use it. They feel out of control. They feel unable to not do it. That is also a problem that is wildly disproportionately a problem of the religious world.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah. Also,
So cute.
I think it was that Utah paid the most for porn. Wasn't that what it was?
Oh, really?
It was some weird confluence of like they weren't going to steal like the porn, right? So they were being honest in one way by paying for it. I think it was something weird like that.
But I do think that Utah's porn consumption, just in general per capita, was really, really high.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So that's fun, you know. Well, friends, if you would like to be a part of helping to make this show go and make it possible, and also receive fun extras like the Frank and Dan Diary, which is something that we do every week that is accessible to our patrons, you can become, lucky you, a patron of the show. Woohoo! And the way that you do that, you go to thankgodimatheist.com. You click on the support tab. There's two things. There's a thing that says, hey, go do a one-time donation over on PayPal, or there's a thing that says you can become a Patreon patron, and that's where the Frank and Dan Diaries are. So if that's what you're after, go there. And either way, you'll become magical. We'll give you magic powers that don't work. So that's pretty special. But you'll mostly just be helping us keep the lights on here at Thank God I'm Atheist. And with that, we have someone to thank, do we not?
We do indeed. We have our top donor, Dan, our Lord and Savior, Davis.
More show coming up. Well, Frank.
Dan.
And then a bomb hit the atheist community this week.
Oh, this just
Are you okay?
It hit me hard, Dan. Hit me so hard. And a name from the past.
A blast from the past.
Came back up. And I was like, wait a second, who is that? And then I was like, oh yeah, I remember that story.
So, years ago, we reported that a woman named Ayaan Hirsi Ali, a former Muslim, had left her Muslim faith and joined the ranks of the atheists.
Yeah.
And
it just made us all feel so good.
I guess so. She wrote a book called Infidel, Nomad, and Heretic. And, she sort of made a big splash coming out of Islam and talking about it, which admittedly there aren't that many outspoken former Muslims, at least here in the US.
Yeah, it's true.
So, she got a lot of attention for a while, and then we didn't hear from her at all.
Yeah.
For a long time. I didn't hear anything for a long time. And then we just found out she calls herself a Christian now. She's Christian.
Oh, no.
And if you think I'm being weird about my phrasing, calling herself a Christian, just know that she literally wrote a piece for, what is it? Oh, some thing and she starts it with the phrase, "Why do I call myself a Christian now?" So I'm using her wording there.
That's awkward.
It's weird. And the other thing is that, like, in all of the things that she wrote, she never professed a love for Jesus or a belief in the writings, the Bible or whatever, but rather she professed a community with Christians because she hates wokeness.
Oh.
She
anti-woke.
Big old anti-woke. She says Western civilization is under threat.
Oh.
from three different but related forces. The resurgence of great power authoritarianism. I think that authoritarianism is a problem in the United States.
I agree with her.
She's saying in the form of the Chinese Communist Party and Putin's Russia.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
And then she says the rise of global Islamism, which threatens to mobilize a vast population against the West, and the viral spread of woke ideology. It's like a virus. People, we caught it, Frank. We caught the woke.
I know. I was sloping, and now I'm awoke.
Oh yeah, exactly. In another thing, she made a video for Prager University. Good Lord.
Oh my God.
And she was comparing wokeness with Islamism, which is an amazing comparison. One of the things that she said, the two ideologies have distinctive rituals. Islamists shout Allahu Akbar and death to America. The woke shout Black Lives Matter and I can't breathe.
I'm sorry. What?
Basically the same thing. Basically, like I'm looking at it and they feel like just rewordings of the same ideas.
So, but I'm confused here. Okay, let's walk through this again, right?
Oh,
so there's these three things, blah, 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 woke. She doesn't want to be woke. She doesn't want to be affiliated with wokeness.
Yeah.
So she's no longer atheist and now she's like over with the Christian. I don't understand. She's confusing some things here, right?
Yeah.
Like, not all atheists are woke, right?
No, but it actually like really warms my heart that she, in hating wokeness and in like really pursuing crazy right-wing ideology, didn't feel welcome in the atheist community. I think that there's something kind of wonderful about that. I feel kind of good there. This is an interesting thing. I had just seen, and this made me think of it. I had just seen, there's a guy on Twitter who's amazing at sort of coming up with visual ways to present data. He's a political scientist at some college somewhere, some university somewhere.
Right.
Anyway, he had just posted a thing that was pointing out that there is mounting evidence. There's continuing to grow evidence that people that religious belief actually follows political stance. So the more conservative you come, the more you lean then after toward religion. And the more liberal you are, the more you lean away from religion. And it's not because of the religion, it's the religion actually follows the sort of the political ideologies.
Okay.
So that's really interesting. But Hirsi Ali is a perfect example of this. You know what I mean? Like she didn't have a religious belief. She still doesn't seem to be tremendously religious. Like none of the way she's writing is an affirmation of Christianity, other than to say, I'm done with those woke ass liberal atheists.
Oh, that's amazing.
And you know, Dennis Prager is going to give me money if I come over to his side of the thing.
Well, I say no big loss in this one.
Yeah, I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah. I mean, we were trying to find examples of other sort of like notable atheists, right? Who
recanted.
And like we found some strange lists online.
Yeah.
Nobody really stood out as being like, oh, that's a loss, right?
Yeah, right. Oh no, Anne Rice. What will we? That was the only name we even recognized.
And it's like, oh, she went back to Catholicism.
We lost the vampire lady. Say it ain't so.
There was another one not too long ago where somebody had sort of gone back to religion, and I can't remember who it was. Their name wasn't on that list. But yeah, I mean, it happens. People are funny. People evolve, right? People change, right?
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you.
like,
Yeah, go.
and you know what? People come into atheism. People go out of atheism, but the net gain still seems to be on our side.
Oh,
right?
Dramatically.
And so, okay. Even if it was like, the ghost of Christopher Hitchens showed up and it's like, ooh,
I recant.
I believe. I'd be like, well, that's kind of sad. It's strange that there's a ghost of Christopher Hitchens, but he's the last person who I would expect to show up as a ghost.
Right? It might be convincing, frankly. Hitchens. That one would have me scratching my head a little bit, I got to admit. I just think, here's what I think. I think one of the things that I haven't seen, because I saw a bunch of atheist reaction to this. Mm-hmm. What I didn't see was anybody going, oh no, like feeling bad about it or whatever. I just think and some people might feel that way. Some people might mourn the loss of someone from who they have sort of attributed to being in their tribe. And to those people, I say, no, atheism is not a club. It is not it's not Fight Club. You know what I mean? It's not a, it's not a university fraternity or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, we all share this one thing, which is a lack of a belief.
Right.
And then there's a huge group of different minds in it that believe a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And that's all fine. But like, I do think, I like the idea that atheists are not tribal, are not as tribal, or at least I haven't seen this, as so many Christians. And, it's a part of our identity, but it isn't our identity, and it shouldn't be.
Right.
Even, you and I do a podcast about atheism, but outside of this show, and, outside of, my public persona where, I'm asked on TikTok about my atheism or whatever. But other than that, it's not a big deal in my life. Most of my life, it's just a sort of non-issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. Like, to be honest, if I hadn't done this podcast with you, Dan, started it 12 years ago or whatever it is, I don't even know how much I would even think about it at this point in my life. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I would have read a couple Christopher Hitchens books, as some, 10 years ago or whatever anyway. And we've just been like, oh, that's nothing I need to spend a lot of time on. Right. Like, fine. I don't believe in God. Why does that mean I have to like do anything?
Yeah.
Turns out I do a podcast, but whatever. Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I mean, other than it's good to pay attention to what's happening and, what's happening in our country.
Oh yeah. I would be paying attention to it and I'd be concerned, but it wouldn't be,
Anyway, I don't cry a tear for Ayaan Hirsi Ali. We're fine without her.
I don't think many people are, Dan.
Like, no, I don't think so either.
On the atheism subreddit, people seem to just be kind of like, oh, fuck, who cares?
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I love it. Although she is a good test case for the theory that you and I have had this whole time, which is that if either of us were willing to sort of be shitbags for money, if we came out and just and said, we were these prominent atheists, and then we and then we were converted back to Christianity, the book deals would just come pouring in. We would have our own show on the Blaze Network. We would be making real money.
Dan, why don't we do it?
I know.
Why don't we do it,
stupid.
Dan?
It's all part of our plan.
At this point, I want to retire at some point. Like,
right? Yeah. All right. Well, we'll do it at some point. And you guys will know that we're just being jerks about it, that we're not sincere, but they don't even care at that point. All they care about is the story.
I hope nobody finds this, none of the Christians find this episode, Dan.
I just hope they find it after we've made they've paid us a bunch of money. You guys are fine to release this, but give us like a year to make some to get our retirement funds in order, and then release it, and then we'll be like, we got you. All right. Well, thanks for listening. That's it for this show. If you would like to chime in about Ayaan Hirsi Ali or people leaving atheism, abandoning us in our time of need, feel free. The address is podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. We'd love to hear from you. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist, and click the like button.
And if you'd like to join one of our members-only lounges, you can do so by going to our website, thankgodimatheist.com/members-only.
Yeah. Hey, thanks so much to the Red Rock Hot Club for the use of their music.
And thanks to Gordon Johnston for the use of his music.
And thanks to all y'all for tuning in. We sure do appreciate you.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.